Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I've got a special guest with me, Felipe Casalduc. Felipe, how you doing today, man?
Good. How you doing, Danny?
I'm doing well. I am really excited to be able to talk to you today. We've been chatting a lot on the phone, as you know. We've been kind of going back and forth every day, especially in these times right now. This is definitely a different time for us. And one of the things that I appreciated about you in our conversations, and that's really why I wanted to bring you on to be able to discuss some stuff, is you've been really hopeful and you've been really able to kind of make it to where we're able to not just look at this as this defeating time where so many people, and rightfully so, there are a lot of people that are really struggling right now. But even the people that are struggling, and for people that maybe you're safe, but you have both of your jobs, you're doing well, all the way to investors that are really looking at this as they might be hurting because of the stock markets and everything that's so volatile. But I really wanted to chat with you today about what you're doing as an investor. I know that you run a pest company, a very successful pest company, and all throughout Northern California. And so there's that piece of that, but we could talk about that later because that's, me and you, we got our thing. But, really what I wanted to talk to you today was just, from the other thing that you do is you're a big time investor, and you've been investing a lot in real estate over the last, how many years?
Probably for the last 10 years.
Yeah. So for the last 10 years, you've been investing in real estate, which honestly, it takes you from when the crash happened in '08, really through today. You've been able to kind of see the ebbs and flows as an investor. So my question for you is, what are you doing in this time? How has this time been for you over the last month? And then we can kind of get into where you're kind of headed.
Our biggest thing is the investment side is still moving. I believe a lot of the stuff that's stagnant right now is just people being scared. And I just believe that there's opportunity for us to move forward. And when I run my business every day, I just try to be hopeful, bring back the peace and speak to people, let them know that, this is just a short term. We're looking at something that's going to happen and that's going to continue to go. So we just got to we can't put our brakes. I really feel like we need to move forward at this time. So.
And in what ways are you looking, for yourself, even for people that you're talking to? Because I know that you're on a lot of these. You can kind of explain that a little bit, but some of the Zoom calls you've been on with people nationally. But in what ways? What's kind of the pulse from what you're hearing as to where people are at, from a national perspective as well?
I feel a lot of my coaching comes from some big coaching people that I'm coaching with. I don't want to say any names, but anyways, the biggest part comes down to is they're telling me is just to move forward and continue to move. Don't stop. I just really believe that we're in a place where we got to continue and not give up. I feel like most of us have given up in a period of time. And I think every investor and people that are moving forward right now are going to see the actual gain at the end of this. And I just really believe that. I've been talking about it to people. It's like, just continue to work hard and look at it positive. It's going to move a lot of people out of the way, but it's also going to put a lot of people in place to move forward. All these videos that we're doing, information, none of this was happening before. So a lot of people were just completely like doing their day-to-day basis. And I have a team that I'm working with right now, and they are agents also. And I've been doing a mastermind with them, and I'm seeing the difference in their mindset just week after week of talking, and they're becoming positive and they're moving forward. So that's a huge thing to me, to not stop that situation.
Yeah, I know you were kind of talking about, even with me last week, just this understanding of, we can either let fear kind of take us and let us down, or we can understand that for some people, they are going to let fear get to them. And that's that if we're strategic enough and we're preparing ourselves, we'll be ready to make the most of the changes that may come. One of the things that you were saying that I really liked was, even within that, kind of the tightening of the belt and really starting to watch things. And can you explain a little bit about what you're doing even right now, understanding that, yes, keep moving forward, but at the same time, that doesn't mean keep moving forward like we're in this, big time boom, right? So what are some of the things that you've been, looking at for yourself?
We've had to cut costs in our company. We're seeing a huge drop, which is normal with something going on like this. But the reality of it is, it makes you a better business person to watch it and to straighten the things out that you need to at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you've given up, or it's a temporary situation. You're going to move forward and gain people back, and people are going to get jobs. And we just got to look at restructuring at this time. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
restructuring going on, and it's one of those things. I sat with my son and Marco, which they work with me, and both of them, I'm showing them like, this is reality. This is what you prepare for, and we're hope for the best. We don't know what tomorrow brings, so we're just doing every day everything that we can to keep motivational. Our marketing has absolutely increased right now. You can't decrease your marketing. You want to increase your marketing at this time, because this is a huge thing to be able to move your business forward. Your marketing has to continue. And I have a marketing people working around to see what we need to change, what we need to restructure. And at this time, we're restructuring. We're restructuring our whole company, and it's okay. It's going to be for the best to make this company run even tighter.
Yeah, that's cool. What are you guys seeing as far as, we actually were just talking before we started recording here, even in the next few weeks, where there is a lot of hope for the next few weeks. And even, I know you said, you can explain how much your business is from San Joaquin County, but just even with that, where that's at. Cause I know you've just, like, a little bit breaking news. We're hearing a little bit about it from your different contacts, but explain a little bit about that.
Today was like almost, I call it a winning situation for me, and a blessing, number one, because I'm a strong believer, and I just believe that God, giving us the blessings right now, was part of getting San Joaquin open back up, which we just got breaking news. I just got off the phone with Juana, and she's been following it all day. And she was telling me, if this doesn't open up, because San Joaquin County was shut down, and 75% of my business comes from San Joaquin County. So it was going to be a big strain on our company to see what was going to happen. And of course, we're already watching every situation that's happening, but what is going on? What's the reality of it? So we're seeing a lot of effects of the situation, but this is a huge thing for San Joaquin County to be able to open back up. So I am completely feeling blessed today that my agents in San Joaquin County can continue to work. We're putting everybody looks at our company, or the situation is I have my staff is putting themselves in danger every day to go into houses. We're trying our best to stay clean, completely wear a mask, wear gloves, everything that we're doing to protect ourselves. But it's, we're doing this for our agents because their families have to be fed too. So.
Yeah. And I mean, luckily you guys were coronavirus ready as Pest, running a pest company. I mean, you guys already had all the rig, the mask, the glasses and everything. So you were already you were prepped for it.
We were prepped, but we gave out a lot of stuff to different people to be able to help with this. And we handed out a lot of masks and a lot of gloves to people that needed it. So it's we've given a lot away because we're wanting to see people to be protective too about the situation. Mm-hmm. So a lot of our agents, we want to protect them, I know they can be on site, but we're trying the best to protect everybody that's there, the parties.
Perfect. So moving forward, kind of what are you seeing? So let's say you're an investor, right? And let's say you're kind of maybe you're not an investor, but maybe you've been sitting on some stuff and you're really trying to look at, okay, what am I doing, getting ready, right? Like maybe there's some young guys out there, young people out there that are going, look, I might have saved a decent amount. I've got some money set aside that I want to look at, kind of when's the right time to capitalize on, whether it is, we don't know exactly how it's all going to work with some of these mortgage relief things or some of the stuff where, there could be some really good opportunities for people to kind of get into investing in real estate. So if you were to talk to a young investor or a new investor, what would be your advice for kind of our outlook for when, I know none of us know the answer, right? We don't know exactly what it looks like, but what are you kind of, your thought processes as you're preparing for, are we getting ready for in the next month, or is it 3 months, or is it 6 months where you should really be kind of tightening things up so you know when to strike,
I think the biggest part comes down to is start to set yourself up to be able to buy investments. Be ready. Even in an up market, a lot of investors made a lot of money. I have a lot of investors that I work with on a daily basis, and they made great money. In a down market, it's a great market also. But the reality of it is what are you going to do to prepare? And I feel a lot of people have not prepared for that. Everybody thought this was not coming yet. You know, everybody was speaking, oh, it's 2020, it's going to be a 21 and 22, you know? And I think the reality of that was not the truth. We didn't expect something like this to happen out of nowhere, you know? So the reality I feel that is going back to the basics and finding out where you can start with that small little investment, that first house, that just that you can do all the work and you can start it off that way, you know? That's originally how we originally started doing it, all our work ourselves. So the reality is just starting with something like that to prepare yourself for something bigger. Because if you start it now when the market's down, or you're feeling that it's changing, I feel that it's something that can prepare you for the long term. Because if you can start in the down market, you can go anywhere from that point. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I know my goal for these is not to have them just be this long drawn out conversation, but these, you know, quick check-ins. And so would love to check in with you more. I do have, one, I think the most important question of the entire thing so far boils down to this. What are you doing right now? We're looking ahead. What are you doing right now to prepare yourself for when that beach body has to come rolling around and Corona, you know, we're able to not shelter in place. So like, you know, what are we doing, man? Like I know you got the boat, you know, but like, are you going to be ready for when this happens? So how are you preparing in that way?
I've been working out a lot right now. It's just time for the family. It's time to, you know, like, to me was almost a restructure for my family. It was good. It was
a good reset.
It was a reset button for me to come back home and not work so many hours. And it's been nice to be able to get home at a decent time and be able to get with the kids and take a bike ride and enjoy that time. And, you know, I just believe that we all this was as much as everybody's saying it's a bad thing, I really feel it's a positive thing because all of us are looking at the situation of reality of what family really means. And the reality is bringing us back to our family to move us forward in regards to that.
Yeah. And last thing before I wanted to ask this just to know, so you run Pentecost Pest Control. What are some of the services for those that might be watching that, whether you're buying or selling, or you actually own a home? What are some of the things that, you know, if you're telling people even right now, I know I saw on your Instagram, you guys were at least maybe for the month of April offering discount service for homeowners.
Yeah, we're offering the $370 in regards to for the actual bundle. And we have a bunch of home inspectors that we work with. We want to make sure that they continue to work and feed their family. So we're spreading the love around to all of them. And we're also able to do some roof inspections and take care of some of that stuff for our clients. We're just trying to be the best that we can at this moment. And we're giving discounts right now, helping people close the deals. And even if we're just breaking even at this time, I have clients calling me, hey, can we make this happen? Are we able to get this done? Or this is the reality is when we all come together, when there's these problems and bring solutions. And I feel this is what we're doing right now with our company is just bringing the solutions back to help other people close their deals. And today I had a deal that, you know, we had to drop a tremendous amount of money to be able to make it happen, but we got the deal closed. And it's not about us, the reality of it. You know, financially, I really believe with the way I run my business, it will provide for us as long as we do the right thing. And sometimes some deals just the money's not there and you have to make it happen. And I know you called me and asked, hey, what can we do to make this deal happen? And I'm like, this is the reality of working together as a team. Yeah. And I feel a lot of my agents have felt that in this season, and we're putting ourselves on. A lot of people are, you know, saying, you know, this is risky. I'm like, well, there's other families that have to be fed in regard to our agents. So I can't just shut down and say, we're not doing this for you guys,
Yeah.
you know, just to protect my own family. So the reality of it is, single dad, I can't, you know, the opportunity for me to get sick is very little,
Yeah.
but I'm still taking a risk every day going out to take care of you guys, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm here as a team. It's not just when it's good times, right? We're all great, right?
Yeah.
Not when it's the bad times, you know, that we all have to dig in
Yeah.
and help each other. So that's where it's at.
Perfect. Well, bro, thank you so much, man, for coming on. I hope that we'll be able to do this again very soon. You know, next couple of weeks, just to keep checking in and kind of seeing, you know, where things are at, because I love getting a variety of stuff, and I appreciate this. Where can people find you if they need to get a hold of you, agents? You know, as far as inspections, where's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can go ahead and go on pentecostpestcontrol.com, gmail.com, and you can call us 581-5562. That's our direct line to our office. We're still open. We're running from 7 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, making sure you guys are taken care of. Danny, one thing I got to ask about you, your positive attitude, and let's turn this around on you.
I tried to end it. You didn't let me end it.
This in the situation without asking you a question.
Yeah.
I'm watching you grow in this season right now for your clients and not stopping. I'm proud of watching you dig in and reality of work. I want to ask you, what made you feel that way? What changed the way you were doing things?
Yeah, you know, I think that the biggest thing is, you know, within that first week or two that everything kind of shut down, as far as, you know, we went to shelter in place, I felt this in a lot of ways. It was this, like, there was like this two forces kind of coming against each other, where it was like, you know, I'm nervous, feeling like, okay, well, what if this gets worse? What if this goes on for months and months and months? And then it kind of got me down a little bit, you know, a little bit mopey. And, you know, I looked at it as one of those where I'm either going to sit here and do nothing and let this just kind of end my, you know, real estate stuff, all of that, or I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to do something about it. And I've always felt a passion about meeting with different people, interviewing people, talking to people, resourcing and connecting, you know, one group of people with another that they may not know each other. You know, for like even me with you, we out in public, like, you know, well, the first time I met you, I was like, hey, you got to meet my home inspector, and like, you know, trying to connect people together. And so I love connecting people. And I felt like I had listened to a podcast where one of the guys said, and it was probably a week after the thing started, and he said, if you are on lockdown and you've always been talking about writing a book, recording a podcast, doing videos, you know, like making an album, and you don't do that while you're here, then you need to give that up as a goal. And you need to never think about that as again, because if you have all this time on your hands alone and you don't accomplish one of your dreams that you've been wanting to do, then you need to give that dream up, because you're never going to do it. And so I was listening to the podcast and I'm like, okay, Danny, what are you going to do? You going to do this thing, or are you not going to do this? You know? And so it's really helped. And then being able to talk to you, you know, a bunch of other people as well, just for that encouragement. And there's a lot of good conversations. And I think it's something that, you know, if you are feeling like bummed out about stuff, it's time to get out of your own head, you know, and make the call. You know, for those watching, if you get bummed out, call Felipe. He's always good for an encouragement. So you could blow him up, you could blow me up. It's fine. But you know, ultimately that's been a huge thing. And so it's just kind of deciding I'm not going to sit here and let this opportunity for me pass me by. I'm going, this is something I wanted to do. So I'm making it happen.
This is another thing, like, I was trying to tell people, is like Ed Mylett, if you're not listening to his stuff, he's actually, it's called Maxed Out. And I recommend that for any person that's doing business. This guy's amazing. He's been, I've been around this guy. He's super, super, like, I can't even ask it. So I have my team that we're doing masterminds with. It's called Max Out, Live Your Life. And I think that's a great book for everybody to start off and be positive. You know? Let's be positive about this and move forward. So,
okay, cool. And we'll throw all the links that you talked about. So we'll throw the links for your website, and ways to contact, as well as Ed Mylett. We'll put that all in the description so people can be able to access those as well, especially if you're watching on YouTube. So Felipe, thank you so much, man. I appreciate this, and we will talk again soon.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
You too.